Greetings and welcome once again to that action-packed and danger-filled show called Simple Groundwork and Diorama Techniques, where we do car crashes, plane crashes, bird strikes, and occupy Wall Street. I am your host, I am your instructor, Bill Grigg, and as always, I have my faithful clam baker behind the lens there, Dave from Cape Cod. Hello, Dave! So listen, we want to keep on going. We want to keep it going with the spooky gunship. And in episode 27, this is episode 28. Welcome to episode 28. Episode 28. Do you believe this? No. It's amazing, isn't it? It honestly is. It's amazing. It's amazing. Episode 28. So we're going to continue on with this gunship here. Now, I was doing the wings last, and like I said, I was talking about the landing lights going in and how I should have done them. So now you can take a look here, and I will show you what I am talking about. Right in this recess here, this is your landing light. And go right inside the hole, Dave. Now you can see a little round circle in that hole. That's the actual lens of the light. Now here's my dilemma here. I don't want to call it a dilemma, but here's and I don't want to use the word problem, but lack of better words, here's a dilemma and here's a problem. In reality, I should have painted all this stuff first before I put the wings together, but I did not, because I did not realize there was an actual lens in there. I thought I was going to be installing a piece of clear plastic, and that was going to cover my landing light, but that is not the case in this kit. So here's my question that I'm trying to decide. Should I now go in and paint this area before I do my external painting of my plane, in other words, my camouflage pattern on my wing, or should I do this now, then mask that area off and spray the aircraft? That's my question, and I just really, truly just need to stand and think about it for a while, and I get a better look at it. That might help, because looking at it will absolutely... I think I'm going to take care of it right now. That also depends, though, if my glue is dry. Because I see right here, I've got a little problem right here of misalignment. And honestly, okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to fix this on this is nuts to fix this. But what I would do is this. I would take a flat file. I would go in and fix this area here to get it even, which is what I just did. Then, this is nuts. There's no need to do this. There's just no need to do this right now. I can do this off camera. What I would do is I would take my interior green, strim of paint, take it up, and just go inside this area and get it all green and then just let it dry. But there's no need for us to see that. I can literally paint this. If you can't paint by now, an episode 28 by 28, give it up and go be a train guy. You know, don't give it up and go be a train guy. There's no need for you to see me do this. But when you do not have a landing light in an aircraft and you want to add one other than just the lens cover, here's how you're going to do that, and I'm going to show you that right now on this piece here. Now what I have done here, and I'll show you two examples. This is a self-made landing light right here. Very easy. It does need some additional cleanup. I have some instant glue around here that's holding this in place. But here's exactly what I have done. And I'll go over to this piece here so you can get a better understanding of what I have done. I got the wing glued together solid. Everything's tight. I did all my seam work on my outer wing. So in other words, I went in here and sanded this and filed this to get this a smooth edge. I took the appropriate size drill bit. Let's use this as the drill bit. Let's use this as the drill bit. I came in and drilled out a hole. Then I took a piece of, and I don't have it in front of me, so I'm just going to use visual aids. Then I took a piece of clear acrylic rod. I took that with the appropriate size hole and stuck it in the wing, which results in it looking like this. And I'll hold that straight on, then I'll turn it down.
Yep, go ahead.
So you can see it sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to turn it up just for a different angle. And let's turn it this way too, so people can just get a 360 of this. Nice and slow we go. Okay? Mm-hmm. Then, the next thing we do, because it is a solid piece of rod, you cannot do this if this is an insert piece off the kit parts where you just get a lens cover. Don't do this. Don't do this. Once you install this light with the acrylic rod, we coat the inside opening with an instant glue. This fills in any seams, any little gaps that may occur, and obviously holds the light in place. And because it is an instant, we can count on this not moving. Now, we also have detail lines that run through the wing panels. So to protect them from sanding as I go in and attack this piece, you can see I have put some protective masking tape. Now, like I said, masking tape is not going to protect you against severe screw-ups. You know, if I was on here, and I'll show you, I can do it. Oh, look at that. Oh, geez, I messed up. Oh, I messed up. Oh, I messed up again. Oh, I messed up again. There's no damage here because I'm coming off and just making a little, if I was to have a lot of pressure and stuff, the masking tape is not going to stop this number 11 blade from scoring a trough like the Grand Canyon in this wing. It's not going to happen. But for little mishaps, it's good. So why are you going to be cleaning up little mishaps and little minor scratches and things when there's no need to do that, when you can simply install a piece of masking tape? But like I said, if you got a major screw up, you're done. I mean, you're done. Now, two ways to take this down, several ways to take this down. And I think the first one that I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to try hitting this with a motor tool with a barrel sander in it at first. Although I think when I did the other light, I just did it with a raw file. But let's try this. Let me try this. Let me grab this because it's all set up to go. I happen to have the pleasure of owning two motor tools that are all set up always at the same time. And I obviously have a different head in each one. But I just happen to be fortunate enough to own two motor tools. But this is the barrel sander. It's got a little screw in the end. That screw has a rubber, like a rubber gasket inside that expands and contracts with this, and it holds the barrel in place. These barrels are hollow. They sit over a rubber sleeve. And you just crank this down. Now also on your motor tools, most motor tools have an adjustable speed. I truly don't know what to tell you about speed selection. Obviously, the faster the tool turns, the more heat you're going to generate, but the better cutting ability you're going to have. At slower speeds, less heat, but less lack of cutting ability. So I like to put my speed up around 2 or 3, and I might adjust it up and down according to things. I think the higher speeds are more for like denser materials, in other words, if we were cutting metal or something like that. But let me see if this works. This may not even work. You be gentle. You go slow. You don't go in and attack this with a vengeance. And again, I need to set this flat so I get no motion. And let me just try this. I want to see what happens. Not bad, not bad. I will continue. And the only reason that I'm using a motor tool is to get this off a little bit faster than I was if I was to do this manually. And notice I'm being real gentle. You don't want to go fast. If this gets out of hand, you have a big problem. You can see it comes off really easy. You can see the residue coming off. I'm going to turn this around so I get a different angle. Notice also flat, hand flat, tool flat, everything flat. This gives you control. Look at, I have no motion, no wiggling, no, as if I was up here. Notice also, as I put this hand flat with the tool, notice I touch my other hand. That also gives me an insane amount of control. And again, showing the entire process. I want you to see everything here. You know, I could have taken this, turned this tool on, and 5 seconds later I could have been like, oh, here we are. But this is not how I want to instruct you people. I want you to see the whole thing so you know this isn't not a hurry up and get your gratification hobby. As we live in this instant gratification society that we live in. Oh, that was aggressive. Okay, now I'm getting down into an area where I'm getting uncomfortable using a motor tool. Hang that back up. Everything goes back in its place. That way you know where it is. Now, geez, I'm not even covered with plastic. Now let's get a close-up of that, Dave. You tell me when. Got it? You on it? Okay, and I'll stop my rotation of it. But you can see what a good job the tool did. I did not get into the top wing surface and tear the crap out of the wing surface. Okay, so that's about where I am there. Now, let us continue on to get a good fit in this. And what I'm going to use now is I'm going to use a round file, but I want you to see the file. I want you to see the file head. I'm going to put this up against a piece of paper. I want you to see that file head. Notice how rough it is. As a matter of fact, let's put it up next to the microphone. Can you hear it, Dave? Hear that? Hear it, folks? That's very, very, very rough. Very aggressive file. That's what I'm going to do next. And again, I'm going to be real gentle and real slow and take my time. This might get Martha in the pickup truck out here, but that's all right. I haven't seen Martha in a while anyhow, have we, Dave? Nope. Last time Martha was chasing Dave around out there, she confiscated his 40mm Bopas and was actually chasing him with that. It was a horrible scene. Yet it made a good YouTube video. Okay, I got to get flat because I got to get aggressive. This is really not working. I got to get flat. You know what, Dave? You know what helps? What? when you use the file in the proper manner, in the proper direction. Oh, look at how much better this. Look at how much better this is working, Dave. What a dope. What a dope. What a difference. What a difference a file makes. 24 little teeth. I wonder how many people got that reference. Hey, Donna Summer died, huh?
Queen of Disco.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Dorchester girl.
63 years old.
Yep. Yep. I worked with her several times. Of course, being a Boston girl, she played the Boston clubs all the time, you know? I'm sorry I can't do this, gang, so you can see me do it, because it's an application towards me, but I'll just keep picking it up, and Dave can keep getting a close-up shot of that. See how that's starting to meld in there? Real good. Put it back down. And like I say, I will try to get this so you can get the angle on this, but I think my hand and stuff is going to be in the way. But it's the only way you can do it. Let me see. I need something to put this on. Let's do it on top of this. See if I can get this so this photographs. Let me see. We'll turn this way. Yeah, that gives you a better angle, doesn't it?
Yep.
Also, the tape will protect me too. The tape definitely will protect me now if I make a mistake and go on to the other surface with a file. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to give a visual on this so I don't have a hump. And I do have a hump. So again, I go back down, tight onto the surface. I'm trying to stay on the lens, but I am hitting the wing also. But my focus is on the lens. But you've got to go a little to either side. And obviously, it really is good if your work doesn't move. Still got a hump. I need a flat file. We need to change strategy. Now again, might as well get a picture of the file, Dave. Again, kind of aggressive in its tooth. Not really. Maybe this has a number I could tell you. No, I don't think so. If it does, you certainly can't read it on. There's some sort of engraving here, which must identify. Although I notice if you buy the inexpensive ones that come in the packages there out of China, they just have like a code number on them. It doesn't tell you the file number. It's just a code number, so that doesn't help you. But all right, trying to eliminate the hump. Now you notice, bad. That's all right. Oh, that's even worse. I have to protect that part. Oh, I wish I hadn't done that. I'm having a hard time doing this so it films. Here we go. See the wing wobbling? That's really not to my advantage. I'm going to do this this up in the air. I'm going to tell you to do exactly what I told you not to do. And notice I don't get crazy with my file strokes. Just a couple, and I check. Change the angle. So now I'm starting to really blend that in. Here's a little problem. I'm starting to create a bit of a dip here between there and the wing on the lens because I use the round file. So that's something that we need to come over here too and deal with. And again, like I say, a lot of this is, it's not going to film, but you are going to, you obviously, guys, model makers, you're getting the idea. Train guys might be scratching their heads, but model guys are getting it. Just not being real aggressive. And again, showing you the whole process here, the whole process of what's happening. Now I'm starting to get into where the instant glue is, and that will require me being a bit more aggressive. Notice I keep my work clean. I keep rubbing away the residue, the sanding residue. That dip from the round file is not good, Dave. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just keep working with my flat file, keep coming down the wing, so I can eliminate that little dip and see if I can create a straighter contour to this. And you can see now I'm really kind of being very aggressive with the file. And that, my friends, is a million times better. Oh yeah, that's way better. That's way better. Way, way, way better. Okay, now it's time to shift gears again. Put everything back where you know where it is. And Dave, I need a little less aggressive sandpaper, so you might as well just follow me over to the sandpaper section here. I have a little drawer right here, gang. Is that too low to film, Dave?
I've got it.
Got it? Got a little section right here. I just keep my sandpaper that I use all the time in here. I don't want to go too aggressive with this, so I'm going to grab two different grits. See if I can tell you what they are. Mystery. And a mystery. I would guess maybe 400, maybe. This is wood sandpaper. You really don't really want to be using wood sandpaper, but I need to be aggressive on here. Wood sandpaper puts little minute scratches in the plastic that are well, I don't want to say almost impossible to get out, but they're very difficult. They create a very difficult situation to get out. So, try to avoid this and try to go with heavier grit automotive sandpapers. But for me to do that, I need to turn around and dig through my massive sandpaper array, and I just don't want to do that on camera. So again, I wrap my backing around this, and again, I'm going to be real gentle with this. And like I say, I should put this down, but I need to film this for you. So, and there are going to be times when you do pick up your work and you do hold it in your hand. but try to avoid that as much as possible. When you're up here winging in the wind instead of on a stable surface, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get a good smooth sand because you're moving. But if you do it like what I'm doing here, doing what I'm telling you not to do. But notice, I don't take a lot. I just do a couple and see where I am. Oh geez, this is starting to come out nice. Yeah, that's starting to blend in really, really, really well. That round file really created a problem for me. Well, not a problem, but an obstacle, definitely an obstacle to be overcome, and I have to deal with it. All right, now what I'm going to do now, my landing light is pretty well fared in. Now what I want to do is I want to go now and attack the crazy glue. So now I can put this right down here, the instant glue. Why I keep saying crazy glue? It's instant glue. Your CAs. I got to start getting in the habit of saying CA. And everybody's got to start to know what I mean when I say CA. What's PBM?
Paint bottle maintenance.
Cool. That was better than going to a Harvard-Yale game. Paint bottle maintenance. And what do we do to our paint all the time, Dave?
Stir.
Stir our paint. Haven't said that in a long time, have I?
No, you haven't.
A couple episodes haven't said that. And I did say welcome to episode 28 this time, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay. 28 oh yeah, we talked about it. 28 episodes. Boy, Dave, we'll be doing that 30th one pretty soon. We got a special, by the way, viewers, students. We got a special coming up for our 30th episode to kind of celebrate our 30th episode. What Dave and I have discussed is, I think what we're going to do is get a lot of on the completed subjects, and then I will talk about how we got to the point of the completed subject, and you'll be able to see, the efforts of what I have been teaching you here. So I think episode 30 is going to be a lot of fun. I really do. I think episode 30 will just be a nice, fun shoot. Maybe put some music behind it, and I think it will be a very enjoyable show. Very, very colorful show. And again, just showing you the entire process of putting this wing together. Getting this landing light together. Now, boy, let's see if we can get a shot of this, Dave, before I clean this up. I'm probably going to have to wiggle it a little bit. What I want you to get is I've got a good glob of CA right here. Does it need to be turned or?
Yeah, turn it a bit. Yeah, okay, I see it now.
Can you see the glob?
Yep, I see it. Yep.
That's what we're going to eliminate. That's what we're going to eliminate. So down onto my surface. And again, this would be much better if it was raised because I have an acetylate. Am I being loony? Yeah, ha, ha, ha. Not glued. Goodbye. Goodbye, Mr. Tibbs. Much better. Much better. Is that what it is? Goodbye, Mr. Tibbs? Is it?
They call me.
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
Sidney Poitier.
That's right, that's right. What was the goodbye one?
I can't.
Georgie Girl. Goodbye, no, that isn't it either. Take a pill, Georgie Girl, I don't know. Do I want to do that? I've got a glob here that ran. I need to get a little more aggressive on that, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going into that neither. That's not bad. I don't want to go into that big, massively aggressive round file, and I don't want to go into this here, this file, round file here, because this round file here is really, really, really smooth for fine, fine work. I need to cut that drop down. But again, as I cut that drop down, I do not want to have my flat surface and cut that drop down and get that little indentation in there. We don't, you want to avoid that. I think I'll probably pick this up to do this, because it's light reflection that's going to take care of this. And I'm going real gentle. But this drop here, oh, that's way better. Oh, that's way better. How you can tell if you're accomplishing your task is you'll see a difference between what you're sanding on the high point compared to the low plastic. There'll be two distinct color changes. What you're looking for is to get it all to the same color. That way you know you're down onto your plastic, and that CA bump has been eliminated. Keep it clean so you see what you're doing. Especially when you're with a round file on a flat surface, things can go horribly wrong really fast with a round file. Also, notice I do not stay in one spot and file in one spot. I move back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. See, taking kind of a longer stroke. This will be real good for contouring this around the edge too. As I just kind of roll. I am happy. I am a happy person. Okay, now let's go into this sanding film. Also, keep in mind, train guys are probably out there going, "Oh, he's scratching up his lens with all his files and sanding." Well, yeah, as you go lesser, though, and lesser grit, train guys, you keep polishing the lens. Car guys, gamers. Who else can I pick on, Dave?
Real space.
Real space people. Do you have that big shuttle launch tower?
No.
No. Never got your hands on one of those?
No, they're very, very difficult.
Yeah, very difficult to find. Very expensive, I guess, too. I gotta go down flat, Dave.
Okay, hang on. Okay, good.
Okay?
Yeah.
The other thing, too, when you're in a higher grade, even though it's an automotive, try not to keep in one position. How do I say this? How do I say this without it? It's like the tips of my fingers. If I was scratching, they're going to stay stationary in one spot. So therefore, if I was to do this, I could create small scratches with the paper from repeated, if I was to stay in one position. So notice as I come back down onto the piece, notice how I move my hand and the sandpaper together. So I'm kind of circling a little bit, and I'll show you the reason why. Because Yeah, that's good. This is a good example. This is the reason why. And again, Dave, we're going to have to need close up here. And I'll hold this as steady as I can. You can start to see here on the plastic how smooth and even I'm getting, whereas when I go to the other side, where I have not done that with a higher grade paper, see the two distinct color differences? And I will do it again. And I'm going to roll it back again. And is that showing the two distinct color differences? That's what I really want you to see, students. That's what I really want you to pay attention to. Again, I'm going to go flat because I have not done the top with this. The thing I don't like about sanding films is I roll them around sanding blocks all the time, and as I roll them around, they crack and they lose a lot of their abrasive. Oh, that is no good. Maybe I should just stop being so cheap and just buy a better paper, too. You know, Dave, honest, I could eliminate this by going right here. I don't know. I'll have to get that paper out. Keeping my hand flat, trying to keep my work flat. Notice how much better a job I'm doing sanding when the piece is not wobbling and moving. That's pretty good. Okay, time to get wet. Time to get wet. Let's do it properly so I don't go spitting on things. Because boy, I was spitting this in 5 seconds. But I do want to show you proper techniques that you too can use at home. What now those two little dancer girls are doing and their dad? By the way, if you're watching, hi girls. The two sisters, the two little dancing sisters. Wet it. And why do I wet it? Do you remember?
Keep the heat down.
Keep the heat down. The reason I always use a sanding block on this and not my finger, because your finger can fluctuate. The sanding block does too because it's foam, but it will contour and get to a point where it maintains and now creates a flat surface that I can guarantee I'm not going to have this, 44-foot Coast Guard cutter ride on. Out in the big 40-foot, out in the big water. Will you actually lean off the side of the boat? This is no lie. Lean off the side of the boat one day. This is no lie, Dave. And I took my arm and stuck my arm out, and I actually stuck it into the wave and touched the wave. That was a fun day. That was a fun day in the old 44. We call them pitch and pukes. We call them pitch and pukes. Oh, could you get seasick in that boat? But boy, you couldn't sink them. Those 44s were beautiful. You couldn't sink them. And you will now, when I get this done wet, also, I want to show them the residue, Dave, that I'm creating by doing this. Okay, I'm going to go back down flat again. See how I pull it in? I'm going to use it to my advantage. Up flat on top of that lens. How long have we been shooting this, Dave?
We're 45 45 minutes.
45, I've been on this light 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought this was going to be like a 15-minute thing.
Not quite.
This is not going that way, is it? That's okay. That's okay. This is great. Look at, here it is, 45 minutes on one little spot. This is not a hobby that is 1,000 miles an hour hobby. This is so good. This is so good. This is such a great example of honestly building a model. Of course, this is like a, I don't want to say a custom installation, but you know, this is a different type of an installation also. Okay, let me get a little water on this. Right on the piece itself. And hello. Hello. Oh, that's not bad at all. All right, David. Right in tight on that, and I'll do the rotation thing again.
Okay.
But you can see how much better now this light is, and it's actually starting to get a little bit clear. So I'm going to go one step further on this, which I wouldn't do at this point, but I am going to do it at this point, and this is strictly for teaching, but I wouldn't do it at this point. I would take my tape off and I would do this later on, but I just want you to see this. This is how we get this lens clear, 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 clear. We take some fine polishing cream for all metals. That's what this is. A fine polishing cream for all metals. Made in Germany. Comes in a handy bubble pack. I don't know if it came in a bubble pack or not. I just like saying it. Now flavored with blueberries. How would I know that? Like he said to me that day, he goes, "This smells worse than a diseased dead goat's butt." And I said, "And you would know that how?" He goes, "Oh, well, I plead the fifth." All right, metal polish. A little bit of applicator. I'm using, I think, a facial tissue. And onto the affected area. Let's get a close up before I rub this, Dave. I don't know if we're going to see a vast color change. You know what? Get the lens too. Get the transparency status. You know, right now of that lens.
I got it.
Okay, now let's take and polish. Let's take and polish. And I shouldn't probably be using a facial tissue as much as I should be using an actual, like maybe a piece of flannel or a piece of cotton. I think the facial tissue, I'm being foolish, but I'm going to continue. I think the facial tissue is actually absorbing some of the properties of this polishing cream. But it is working. Beautiful. But like I say, I wouldn't really do this at this point. I would kind of wait down the road until I get things further together and stuff. Because why am I going to get my lens now shiny, 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 and now do other things that could affect the clarity of this lens? But one good thing that this is going to show you, and this is something, did I install these on camera, Dave?
No.
No. I just did these on my own, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gee, that's a shame. That would have been a good thing to film. Oh, this is coming nice. Wow. Wow. Now I'll get a shot of that, Dave. Hope the glint from the smoothness doesn't burn out the camera lens. Can you see it?
Very nice.
See how smooth that is? See how shiny it is? Now, the other thing is, Dave, you get tight, tight, tight now, dead nut straight on that lens. Get real tight.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see the little white in it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's simulating the bulb in the lens. Now, this is what I did. And I'll use this as an example. Drilled the hole in the wing, installed the clear acrylic rod, right? But before I installed the rod, I knew how deep the rod was going to seat itself into the wing, because back there was a stop for where the two wings were supposed to join together, and that was what was going to give me, an adhesion point. What I did in the rod before I did this is I went to the back of the rod with the pin vise and an appropriate bit of the correct size, and I went to the back of it, centered it, and drilled a hole into the rod. Not too much. I actually used I'll show you the head. I might as well show you the head. This is crazy to talk about it and not show it to you. It's on the end of this motor tool. Get a shot of that up tight, Dave. And tell me when you got that.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? See how it's a rounded head? That helped me as I went in the pin vise. That helped me as I used a much bigger cutting head than this one. It was a much larger diameter ball. But what that created is I drilled in, whereas actual drill would kind of give me that a regular, everything's visual aids with me here. A regular drill, okay? A regular drill kind of gives me that kind of a indent at the tip. I didn't want that. I wanted that. That's why I use the round ball. That gives the impression that the light is contained inside there. Once I got that hole and I got that round concave, thank you. Got that concave surface, that's when I put in a drop of white paint inside of that. And that's what gives me that impression that there is an actual light behind the lens of the landing light. Also, this is going to be a fire bomber, and I increased the diameter of the lens because I noticed a lot of these aircraft that they turn into fire bombers, they go in and do extensive restructuring within the aircraft. They strengthen things and eliminate things, and so to give them a lot of light, because obviously you're fighting fires, who knows, you got a lot of illumination. So they used to put these big, I noticed like a couple of C-119s and stuff, like they had these big hunking spotlights inserted in the wings. And I thought, there ain't no C-113 landing light. These things were hunking huge, like you see on anti-submarine aircraft, like in those stoofs and stuff. They got that big pot underneath with that huge spotlight. Looked like they probably went to a graveyard and grabbed stoof landing lights. I thought it was bright the other night here when they turned them on in Texas. So that, how we doing time? About 5 minutes. Well, I was going to start to talk about glues, wasn't I? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's use the last 5 minutes for glues, but I might not be able to give them physical examples. I will just do verbal examples. I noticed in my show notes that I had written down redo glues. So I obviously must have gone over glues very, very fast. But let's do this now in the last 5 segments. And then if I can remember in the next 29, I'll do it in 29. I'll actually try to get to those glues and actually show you the application and how they're actually used. Let's start out with our regular old model glue. Notice there's no orange tubes in my tabletop either here. I'm going to pick them up, Dave. Notice there's no orange tubes in my... All this is this is the way it actually comes. It comes with a stainless steel applicator and a little hole right there. This is a semi-liquid. This is for really fine applications, running really fine work. You saw me do the wing. And this, what I did truly is I took an instant CA and I just stole the top from it, pulled out that stainless steel needle and put this on. But this is for more volume. That's the only reason I have two different tips on these. This gives me a lot of volume. This just gives me a fine, precise application. Okay? The next one I want you to see is just the liquid. And you saw me use the liquid. Oh, no, we didn't, because it got jacked up. But you saw me use the liquid, and obviously you've seen me use liquid before. It's great for spots like, I noticed like in the corner when I put railroad building corners together. It's great. They fit really fairly tight, and then all I need to do is just run a bead of liquid down that edge, and my railroad buildings are really good and tight. Many other uses for this. You'll start to see that. And then the last thing I really want to talk about is CAs. Now, there's all different kinds of CAs. There's thin, there's thick, there's super thin, there's medium, there's gel, there's gap filling, there's slow cure, there's fast cure, I was looking the other day, I was like, wow, they have really gone crazy in the CA department. How do I tell you which application to use in certain situations? That's something you're going to have to do by trial and error, I do believe. If it's a very, very tight-fitting piece, but you know it needs some application, that was probably where the thin comes in, because the thin is going to run underneath. Whereas a medium viscot, it's not going to go underneath. You'd be better off if there was a gap that you needed with a medium and push that down. The gel, and I asked Dave this, I said, Dave, what do you think would be the different application between using a very thin super glue and a gel? And Dave was like, I really don't know, Bill. Well, here's the deal with gel. Gel is like using, and it comes in a little tube like this, or it comes in a real big tube. It's like using a tiny drop of Vaseline is exactly what the consistency is of it. I will open this and show you this. But what the deal with that is, the gel, because it's in this form of Vaseline, it allows you to take a part and install a part and move it all over the place without it going whoomp instant. I use gel a lot when I attach tree leaves to tree limbs. What I will do is I will take the limb, kick the limb, grab my leaf, pick up some gel, come over with the leaf, and attach the leaf to the kicked branch. Boom, instant adhesion, instant. You can't put on 10,000 leaves and not have them, they got to be in the spot and stay right where they are. So I would say that's about it, eh? Getting close?
We're getting close.
Getting close. All right, once again, thank you for watching episode number 28 right here in our ongoing series called the Model Builders Series, which we haven't said in a long time, but it is the Model Builder Series, doing a complete kit build. Right here on Simple Groundwork and Diorama Techniques, I am your host. I am your instructor. The clam bake is behind the lens as usual. I want you to go grab that 40mm from Martha there, go kick her butt, take it back, and do some seagull elimination for me, will you, Dave? So on behalf of Dave and myself and our viewers and all the world and them in Denmark, where that came from, you have a good one. Hope you learned something again today. Thank you for watching. Come on back and we will do 2 more episodes. You're going to love episode 30. You take care. You keep on building. Try these techniques. They are proven. They do work. Adios.